So the other day I mentioned that I was starting my peptide journey, and I was starting that with a blood test from Rythm. And I got the results back, and so I'm going to go through those results live with you guys right now. I don't know what they say, and so we're going to discover those together. A couple of you guys reached out to me and asked why I was considering peptides and if I had noticed like significant changes in my health. And I'll be the first to tell you, I have not been good at taking care of my health professionally, if you will, like clinically, into my early and mid 30s here. I've done a decent job, I think, of controlling my own diet and exercise the last decade, but I've never had a primary doctor. I rarely get my blood done, and so it's going to be really eye-opening. But what I did notice, and the reason why I really started looking into peptides and wanting to consistently track my blood, is because I did start noticing that I was not getting stronger. Where in 2022 and 2023, 2024, in 2025, toward the beginning, I was consistently hitting new PRs, if you will, in my weight training, and seeing like a 5 to 10% increase every single week that I was in the gym. The last 6 months, I have like completely plateaued. I've tried to change different things with my routine, which has helped in the past. And just like I'm not getting stronger. I'm not putting on any more mass, and really like I'm not necessarily leaning out either. So just like everything is kind of stopped. My sleep has pretty much been the same, and my diet hasn't had any real significant changes. My alcohol intake is pretty moderate. So I'm just trying to figure out like what's going on. Maybe this is just getting older, and can peptides help with this journey as I get these results? So let's see what these blood test results look like. All right, so first up in the blood panel is hormones, and the first one is estrogen. I didn't even know that was something that was tracked, but all right, let's take a look at this. All right, so first up is estrogen, and honestly, I didn't even know that guys tracked estrogen. I don't know. Again, I don't really know. I don't know this stuff, but apparently mine is too low, which I would have thought was a good thing, but apparently it's not. I guess low estrogen can contribute to mood shifts, low libido, and potentially lower bone density. So that's kind of interesting. The next thing that I've got here is my SHBG, so sex hormone binding globulin. And again, this one is out of range, and it's on the high end. And in this situation, if it's too high, apparently what it can indicate is that my free testosterone is lower. So when we get to testosterone, we'll see if that correlates. But yeah, so this one's on the high end of the spectrum. All right, so next up we got my total testosterone, and I don't know this for sure, but from what I've heard before, like a guy my age, I would expect to see this around 800, I think, 750, 800. I know I have talked to other people who have pushed it as high as like 1,000, 1,100. I don't know if that's healthy, but I think like 700 and 800 is what I want to see. So let's see here. What does this come up as? 459. Holy smokes. All right, so I guess that's like half of what I thought was where I should be. And I don't know, I don't feel like I have low energy. I mean, I feel like I can go like all day. My sleep, I think, is pretty good. I sleep basically 11, usually 11 to 6, but 459. So let's see where my free testosterone comes in. So my free testosterone is 63.94, which is also low. So guys, I'm not looking good. I'm kind of surprised about this. I thought there'd be some things to improve. I did not think everything was going to come back out of range, especially that my testosterone was going to come back this low. Again, for context, I'm 35 and I feel like I'm in decent health. Let's see what this means. 63.94 would mean. Okay, so interesting. This is the first one that says that this actually could result in lower libido, which makes sense, but also specifically mentions not being able to put on muscle mass, which is one of the biggest things that caused me to look into this in the first place. Like, why am I lifting, getting stronger, but not putting on any mass, even when I'm hitting macro targets? So, okay, that kind of makes sense to me. All right, so we're getting a little bit long here, so I'm gonna just kind of take all the optimal ones, because I did just peek down and I have a bunch of optimal ones, so that's good. We got some of the bad stuff out of the way, so I'll just show you these. I don't know what most of these mean, but I'm glad I have some things in my blood that are working okay. All right, the last category, that was all like hormones, and the last category is just overall heart health, so like cholesterol and stuff. So I'm going to take a snapshot of these, and let's see how my heart's doing. Oh, shit. Okay, so I have had a couple years ago, I had some blood pressure issues, but it kind of seemed to settle itself after I stopped doing salt water. I was like drinking a ton of salt water because I heard someone online say that most people were deficient in sodium intake, so I started just like drinking salt water. It's kind of weird. But I had no idea that my cholesterol looked like this. It's kind of weird too, because I don't know if these are related, but I just saw in the optimal range, my cholesterol clearer is like really good. So anyway, that's where that is. So, man, I am in rough shape. All right, so I guess this is a positive indicator that I need some work. And beyond this, I think I'm going to reach out to my doctor as well, because I definitely need to take a look at some of these things. But now that I have these blood test results, I should be getting my peptides in the mail today. And once they come, I will document what I have in this first round, and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching.